I think I will never believe in or even have the chance to experience the power of habit without my inborn powerlifting phase. Hi, I'm Lauren, a former student from the Education University of Hong Kong, and welcome to my habit cultivation journey. As you may already know, I'm simply an ordinary girl who grew up in Hong Kong. It was me when I was 10, when I received a prize and my mom was happier than me and she told me this photo. It was me again when I was having fun in a school picnic. And this photo showed the day when I started living in a new school, turning a new page of my life. There is no doubt that these are some of my precious life moments. But the fact is, whenever I review these photos, my eyes can't stop staring at the lips, as they do look horrible to me, and it reminds me some of the love and hate feelings towards them. My lips were just weird. They always look pale during the day, and they would even turn into a blue-purple color when I went swimming. So it creates a lot of jokes in my childhood journey. For instance, a stranger would suddenly give me his seat as he thought I was sick. My student coach will keep asking me if I'm okay to continue. And of course, this do create a lot of concern for my family, especially my parents. So start in the age of 7, they start taking me to different Chinese medicine clinics for consultations. We went to those near to our home, or even those in Shenzhen that need across the border. Drinking herbal tea has become one of my daily activities, yet I dislike them. Why other children can have their chocolate cake after school, and there is always a table of brown color herbal tea on my table. Whenever I went back home, I smelled the herbal tea. I knew they are waiting for me. So since at a young age, I realized there are something different or even wrong inside my body. It may be just because I was born without enough red blood cell. Maybe I have reduced blood flow. Yet no one is able to give a definite answer of why this will happen. And after years and years go by, the problem haven't been solved, and even one day, I was even told that I may lose the ability to carry a child in the coming future. I was very shocked at that time as I was only 20. I told myself, I used a lot of time to accept the so-called inborn pale lips, and now the situation seems getting out of my control if I continuously being passive and over-rely on this Chinese medicine. There is something that I can change or make a change, or else I will foresee that I will become regret in the coming future. So luckily, my Chinese medicine doctor also told me that this condition is still able to change as long as I truly taking care of myself and forming new habits. Well, when someone asks you to change a habit, what habit is the first one to pop up in your mind? Changing habit is never easy because we make a lot of daily choices every day, and we are so comfortable with that in a sense we don't even notice. It includes the minibus that we take to work, the food that we eat in the morning, or even the email app that we open when we don't know what to do next. Thanks to habit, we don't need to relearn everything each day. But just because of habit, we may mindlessly not making the best choice or even keep making the bad choice for ourselves. In order to improve my health condition, there is no way except from forming better habits and reflecting on myself. And I choose to start with cold drinks. Quitting cold beverages seems natural, yet to me, it is one of the most critical steps in this habit cultivation journey. Hong Kong summer could be very hot, and cold drink is very common and very tempting to me. despite the fact that I've often been told that cold drink could be detrimental to our health, because our body usually runs in a usual temperature. While we always have cold drink, our body needs to use extra energies to keep that temperature going on in order to absorb the nutrient efficiently and function properly. Well, I don't know whether it is true or not, but at least it is something, not a bad thing to do. I still remember at first, I thought it would be very easy. I brought a bottle of water with me, wandering around on the street, waiting for the time to have lunch with my friends. Then I walked past a bubble tea shop. I saw the line and the cold drinks that people were holding. I felt my mouth watered. I get a tissue from my pocket and try to wipe some of my sweat on my neck and head. And I start hearing the conversations happening within my brain. Should I get one cold drink today? Yes, of course. One drink never hurts. But you have broke the promise. What kind of promise are you talking about? Skipping one cold beverage is not going to improve your health dramatically. As you can tell, while I was having this brain fight in my head, from the outside, I look like a teenage girl who always wants to show up to talk to the crush, yet so shy to do so. I went to the line for a second, and then turn away, and then I go back to the line again, back and forth, until I heard my crush ask me, "Hey, do you want to have a drink?" The bubble tea shop cashier winked and asked. I said, "No thanks, not today." I think this is one of the first times that I explicitly saying no to cold beverages. And while I was still recovering from the brain fight, I didn't notice there are a lot of different challenges awaiting for me. One of them was having friends gathering, where everyone is ordering the cold drinks except myself. And some of my friends will ask me, "How can you do this to yourself in this hot summer?" It is not about the social pressure, but it is about how do you do things that is against the odds and different from your usual comfortable behaviors. It is very hard, especially in the beginning, because you need a very high level of self-awareness and willpower. But as long as I keep practicing and pushing, I found my brain get accustomed to a hot drink in all senses. Whenever I look into a menu now, I will always look for the page with the word hot. If hot chocolate is running out, I will always seek for other hot drink beverages. Despite the occurrence of relapse sometimes, a few months later, I eventually able to get rid of the cold drinks, and now I will always spontaneously opt for hot beverages, unless special circumstances. But of course, changing just this tiny one habit is not enough to improve my health conditions. And after that, I also work on my exercise routine, my sleep hygiene, the diet, you name it, I may have tried it. Yet due to the time constraint and it could be very boring, I'm not going to cover all of them in here. But this journey, I can tell, is not as straightforward as I can imagine. On some of the day, I just want to slouch on the couch. On some of the day, I suddenly want to have French fries. On some of the day, my brain fight was very intense. On the other day, I found I'm more willing and able to complete the task. And then in another 1.5 years, I think, I start to realize and notice there are some subtle changes are happening as if my habits has eventually kicked in my life. My lips do look better than before, as you can see in here, although there are some lipstick on it, if I consistently work out every week. My face do look better than before if I consistently sleep before 11 p.m. And I do look happier than before as I visit Chinese medicine clinic less often and seldom drink herbal tea these days. When I'm looking back, I'm very grateful that I have made the first step and make the move to these habit changes. But I also sometimes even wish I could start it earlier, not just for my health, but also the mindset that I could have when forming new habits. Habits are personal, and no habit fits all. So I'm standing here not trying to preach that everyone should start waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning and then run 10 miles a day to kickstart your morning in order to be healthy and successful. We can all be healthy and successful without these. But the fact is, please don't underestimate the power of habits because of these tiny subconscious things that always happens on our brain ends up controlling most of our daily life decisions. Performing a habit seems effortless, and changing them seems insignificant and tedious. Why do we need to change our usual comfortable behaviors? But I'm sure the few seconds, I call it the brain fight process, like the story of lining up in the line and then turn away and then say no to the cashier, is very strong and powerful enough to change how you perceive yourself and how your brains work. The process of forming new habits is like having you to experience the world in a less comfortable way. You will train your brain to become more able to cope with challenges, and your body will be more familiar with the discomfort feelings in a daily basis. And in the long run, if you keep practicing and pushing, despite there are some occurrence of relapse, the new network will be formed in your brain, and you will eventually develop a trust in yourself, and you become more confident that you can make a change on something that seems rigid and unchangeable. And this power of habits will even help you to apply into different other area aspects of life. To me, of course, my health do improve after this habit cultivation journey, but it also improved my mindset. I always have a can-do mindset these days, that I become less procrastinating on my work and my study, and I feel like things is not always as hard as we imagined. Therefore, start making good use of the habit of today by start reviewing what kind of change you want to have. It may be the fast food that you often want to have. It may be the snooze button that you usually hit in the morning, which make you even more tired. Start making a change on that, practicing the discomfort feelings. Train your mind and body, and you will be so surprised at how you will think differently a few months later. In the end, what kind of habits that you are able to change or form as up will become is like a symmetry of your life. And by start forming the good habit, embracing the discomfort, and you will see a better self. Thank you.